So you guys have a lot of questions for me and I have a lot of answers, so let's get straight into it. I'm doing an unboxing for an early Christmas gift that my fiance got me, which is these like posable figurines. I love figurines. I'm a figurine collector and I really like these dolls because they're so intricate and beautiful. This video is not sponsored though, but I want to, just show you guys one of the Christmas gifts I got because I thought these are so pretty. And I'll link where you guys can buy them down below. But again, this is not sponsored. I'm not affiliated with them. I just really like these dolls. So anyways, let's get straight into it. Yesterday, I posted a commentary or a community post asking you guys to send me questions, and we're going to be going through as many as possible. I'm going to try and make these explanations as short as possible so I can quickly answer your questions regarding my channel, how I make stuff, etc. First one is, how do I create my avatar that's in every video? Very quickly, this is called a VTuber model. It is a animated, rigged, basically 2D drawing. Mine is a 2D VTuber. You can get 3D ones too, though. Mine is a customizable model that I retextured and added custom assets that I purchased off of Etsy too. You can, however, get a pre-made model or a customized model. Like a custom model is like a couple $1,000s. Pre-mades are about $300 to $400, and then, a customizable one is $300 to $400, and then a pre-made one that's like one specific design is about like $20 to $40, depending on where you buy it. If you go to Etsy, there's a ton of them, and you guys could start doing it for relatively cheap. For me, when I got started, it cost about $500 with all these software I had to purchase because I have facial tracking, recording software, stuff like that. However, you could get started for, I would say, about $100 depending on how frugal you are. But certainly, I think VTubing is something that more people should do, and once you get the hang of it, it's really not that difficult. So I may make a tutorial in the future of how to, like I set all this up. This person asks, what do you want to be when you're older? Or you just want to create content? I don't know. We'll see. I think this channel is a lot of fun. It's a good creative outlet. I don't necessarily think of this as a job, but more so like a project that I can work on in my free time and just like talk about things. And I really like commentary, so this is more so just a fun thing to do, and it's just great that it makes money too. It's awesome. This person said, why do you quit Royal High? I quit Royal High primarily because there wasn't a ton of updates when I was playing. There wasn't a ton of updates. There was just a lot of community negativity and toxicity. And although that's not directly Royal High's fault, I think there was a lot of stuff playing into the community frustration that led to people being toxic. And it just, when I play games, I want to play games to have fun, not to be dragged into drama and feel like I'm miserable the entire time. So that's why I quit. And I've been trying to get back into it, but I still do think there's a lot of aspects of toxicity that just isn't the best. And so, yeah. This person asks, I've watched your videos for a while now. My question is, what's your absolute favorite thing about Roblox or your Roblox channel? The thing I like about Roblox is that there's always so much to talk about because there's so many games on the platform and there's so many different kinds of topics you can discuss and a lot of issues on the platform that I think are important to address. And so I just think it's like a really interesting thing to talk about, especially as somebody who grew up on the platform. And, I feel like a lot of people can relate to Roblox content because a lot of us played Roblox when we were younger. Toyota Supra, this person's like always commenting on my videos. Hello. What's your favorite color? Probably pink. Pink. If you could tell my hair, I wish I could have pink hair in real life so bad, but I don't want to fry my hair. I'm scared. What's some advice you give to young teens and tweens? I think a lot of people want to make YouTube videos. I think that's great. That's awesome. You can totally do it. It's really, in my opinion, at least for my low effort kind of content, it is not that difficult. However, don't make content if you're looking for external validation because you will not be getting it on YouTube. I think a lot of people, especially from my experience being a tween, was that I was really insecure and I was actively bullied a lot at school. And so I started making fake get ready with me's and stuff like that, pretending to be a YouTuber because I wanted people to like me. But something that's important to note is that before you make content, especially as a child, you have to be really secure with yourself because people won't always be super nice. And if you want to make content, I certainly think that's something you can do with obviously the permission of your parents. But just being aware that people won't always have the best things to say about you. And that doesn't necessarily mean it's a reflection of you. It's more so a reflection of other people's insecurities. So keeping that in mind and not letting other people's words define you is definitely a very important thing to remember, especially as a kid and even as an adult. This person said, apart from Roblox, are there any other games you enjoy? I love Infinity Nikki. I love Infinity Nikki. It's my favorite game. Do you ever want to start a gaming channel, and what's your dream sub count? I maybe would start a gaming channel. I don't know. I've definitely thought about making additional Pommy channels, but I have to figure out how that works out logistically with taxes, so I have to talk to my accountant. But I may eventually make more channels. I'm not sure about gaming though, because that's like a really demanding job. Like, it's a lot more editing than what I currently do, and I don't know if I could keep up with that, so I probably have to hire an editor, but we'll see. And as for dream sub count, personally, subscribers are irrelevant to me. I think it's weird when people determine a creator's value by how many subscribers they have, because I think it matters a lot more how many people they're reaching and how their content impacts people. So personally, I don't have a dream sub count. I'm really obviously thankful for anybody who subscribes to my channel, but of course, I don't think subscriber defines their worth, and so it doesn't really matter to me. It'd be nice to get a YouTube plaque, but it's like, whatever. This person says, do you like discussing drama? Was it something you ever saw yourself doing, like content creation wise? And then as well, do you have any tips for content creation? To be very, very blunt, and I may make a whole separate video on this because I have a lot of tips. Doing commentary, YouTube, at least the way that I do it, not talking to other creators or anybody else, because there's a lot of creators that put a lot more effort than I do, in my opinion, is the easiest kind of content to make. And that's kind of what geared me towards it, was because I wanted a creative outlet without having to spend hours and hours and making it feel like a taxing job. I want it to just be fun and something lighthearted. And I certainly think that drama content and stuff like that is the easiest niche to make on YouTube because there's really very minimal editing required. I'm not great at editing, and there's a lot of commentary YouTubers, example, bigger channels that do amazing editing like Sunny V2 and stuff like that. And so I really have admiration for those people, but personally, I just don't have the brain power to be editing like that every video. And so I found that, especially starting this channel 3 months ago now, it was more so just push a video out, push a video out, push a video out. And the more videos I made, the quicker I got at editing, the better I got at recording stuff. And you can see the growth. Like the first video I recorded on my channel is still the first video I've ever made on this channel. So you can look at the very first one and see how it's very different from it is now. But I definitely recommend when you're first starting to make as many videos as you can. I understand the sentiment quality over quantity, but I think especially when you're starting, all the videos you make are going to be kind of bad, to put it lightly. So just the more videos you can put out, the more chance you have to be discovered, the more you learn. And I definitely think commentary content, at least the way I do it, is very low effort. Like I don't really have to edit that much, and I don't have to necessarily do that many transitions and stuff like that, and I record everything in one take. So I find if you want to get started on YouTube and you want something that isn't super challenging to get started in, I would definitely recommend trying commentary content. But again, there are tons of YouTubers that put in a lot more effort than me, so I'm sure it isn't as easy for them as it is for me, but I just chose to have very minimal editing from the start, so there was no expectation of having these amazing, fantastic Vincent Van Gogh type videos. So that is my tip for you. How to make my VTuber OC. It's a customizable model. And then I painted over some textures in Photoshop, and then I added there's like wings on my model. You can't see them though because my hair, but I purchased wings and stuff. What is the best topic in your opinion that you like to discuss? I find anything, and any advice for small creators, anything that has to do with like a wider drama or like with a game, I find typically performs really well, and I think it's really valuable to hear other perspectives. So if you want to get started on YouTube, I would definitely recommend just start by talking about things that you know. If you play Dressed to Impress like this person, which it looks like Izzy plays Dressed to Impress, I would start by talking about Dressed to Impress. Maybe talk about your favorite things about Dressed to Impress, your least favorite things, rating Dressed to Impress items, stuff like that. I think that's the best way to start, is by what you know, and then you eventually learn from other people. And from example, my ticket system, I learn about other drama, controversy, and then I learn more about that through my own research, and then I make videos about it. This person says, how many pets do you have? What breed are your pets? What name are your pets? You guys have heard Munchkin a couple times in my videos. He is a deaf, semi-blind rabbit. I know. He's only 2 years old, which makes it really sad, but he was neglected in his previous home, and I adopted him. He's special needs. He has like a very specific diet he has to follow. He has special skincare because his skin is super sensitive, but he's my little baby. In this room that I record in, my office, is his room. He is free roamed. He has his own bed and a bunch of little houses and castles, and he is very, very, very spoiled. And I take him out with me to go like grocery shopping and stuff. He sits in my purse like a little dog. So that's my pet. And sometimes you guys will hear him because he likes to climb things. Didn't know rabbits could do that, but he loves to climb things. And unfortunately, because he is deaf and his balance is kind of off and his eyesight isn't that great, he will sometimes fall. Everything is carpeted though, so he should be fine, but he'll fall or he'll like run into something because he likes to run around and he can't see that good. So you guys will sometimes hear him banging around in the background, and that is Munchkin. That's his nickname. He has a full legal name, but his nickname is Munchkin. This person says, what's the biggest mistake in your career? What's some advice you give to yourself when you were first starting out? Personally, I would say, I don't know if there's been a mistake in my career yet. I just started. I don't even know if I call this a career. I can't think of anything that I regret per se. There was one video I posted where it wasn't perceived the way that I intended it for it to be perceived, and people got really upset and their feelings were hurt by it, which obviously wasn't my intention. I don't regret making the video, but I recognize how my words can carry weight going forward and try to be extra careful the way that I word things, especially when I'm addressing comments. So that was, I guess, something I learned. As for like some advice, post as much as you can. A lot of creators say quality over quantity, which I can agree to a degree, but when you're starting, again, everything's gonna suck. That's just the truth. Just keep posting videos, learning what your audience likes, and then look at the demographics and stuff. Look at the performance of your videos. If you posted something about a specific situation, people liked it, then you post more about that. That's just kind of like a sign. This person says, is there any lore to your VTuber? No, I didn't know that was a thing until a couple weeks ago, but I will make some. Trust me. How long have I been making content? 4 months? August? Like end of August, September, October, November, early December. So about 4. Let's look more. Do you have any hobbies? Yes, I do drawing. I draw traditionally, like kind of anime style, and I've been learning how to do it on my iPad because I got an iPad. This person asks, how many videos do you film a day? It depends. Usually I film my videos same day. I can't stand pre-recording stuff because then I don't know, I second guess myself and I don't post it. So usually I get home and I record about 2 to 3 videos depending on how much stuff there is to talk about that day, and then usually the part that takes the longest is just coordinating with my thumbnail editor because I have to send them over a sticky note layout of what I want, and that usually takes about an hour because they have multiple people that work for them, so it's pretty streamlined, but from start to finish for a video, it usually takes about an hour, so I maybe spend 2 to 3 hours a night working on videos. What are my future goals and plans? I don't know. I don't want to set any expectations for this channel because I don't want to get attached to it, so I don't know. I'm vibing. Person says, what are the first steps to start a YouTube channel? Have a name, have a color scheme. My name is Pommy. Pommy Talks is my channel. I wouldn't group your channel as being like a specific game like Pommy Roblox or Pommy Fortnite, because then you're like trapping yourself in a niche that maybe you won't like forever. So I definitely recommend having like a vague name. And then having consistent coloring. My coloring has always been pink, brown, white, and a light blue, and I definitely think that helps with like channel branding and recognition. So I definitely recommend having like a name that you like and you know you'll like for a long time. Person says, do you have any videos you wish you didn't make on a situation or wish you hadn't been involved in? What makes you take the legal option to commentary in these situations? No offense to you or your content, but in my opinion, it's kind of weird because we have eyes and ears and we can see through people's BS and lies. I think what they're saying here is, why am I always so careful with my words? Because I have a lawyer. When you start making content on YouTube, you want to secure a lawyer, typically someone who specializes in copyright or content creation, which content creation law isn't necessarily its own branch of law, but there are specific law firms and lawyers that specialize in representing YouTubers in court and stuff like that for any disputes. And so after consulting a lawyer, I know what kind of language I can and cannot use, so I try to be very careful with how I word things because I don't want to get sued. And obviously, I'm going to listen to what my lawyer tells me to do. As for any videos I wish I didn't make, not really. I think I'm always pretty careful when I make, and my rule of thumb is if I wouldn't be comfortable reading the video out to the actual person I'm talking about or the game I'm talking about, then I don't post it. And I always run that test before I post stuff, like, would I be comfortable reading this? If yes, post it. If not, don't post it. Do you do art? Yes, I do. This person asks, have you ever written a script to scrap it when new information comes out that changes the entire perception of the story? Yes, more times than I can count. Things change so quickly on the internet, and just the other day I was making a video about world high inflation, and I was talking about it, and then I finished editing the video and I was about to post it, and I checked world high, and they've adjusted some of the pricing, so my video is no longer valid. And sure, I could have just posted it because I spent a lot of time on it. I did a lot of research actually for that one, but I didn't want to post something that wasn't truthful 100% or was outdated because that's not fair. So I just scrapped it and I moved on. It was whatever. Do you love the Pokemon Pommy, or you just named your channel Pommy? My channel, the idea came from Digital Circus, the main character Pomni. I've always thought the name, I'm like, wow, that's such a cool name. I've never thought of that name. But I wanted my channel to be animal oriented because my VTuber is going to be part animal. And so I was like, paw as in cat paw, and then me. And that's kind of how I came up with the name. Who's your favorite Roblox commenter, YouTuber, your opinion on Guamgo and Ducky? What was the toxicity you personally faced in cafe games when we start a new storytime series? I don't really have any particular opinions on any particular commenter YouTuber. I have an issue with people who take content or steal screenshots without credit. That annoys me. But not any particular opinion on commentary YouTubers. And honestly, I don't really watch a lot of it because it's just not, I don't know. I find sometimes the way, not necessarily these creators, but other creators address content is just very dramatized, and it's not my cup of tea. However, the toxicity I personally faced in cafe games, bro, I was like verbally abused by cafe games, like as a child. Like these people were so nasty, and it got so bad. I had like eczema, and I would have like breakouts on my hands, and my hands would bleed from me being so stressed about cafe games on Roblox. It was like bad. And I'm glad it's done. I also like worked for like a clothing group. Like they had like a showcase game where basically they had all their clothing, and I was supposed to like direct people to different kinds of clothing, and they were also really mean. So let's see, do you listen to Billie Eilish? Yes, I do. Have you ever watched anime? I do watch anime. I'm trying to think of like my favorite one. There's one I watched recently that I thought was so good. I can't remember what it was called. But my favorite shows are Last of Us and From. If you guys haven't seen From, so good. It's such a good show. I'm rewatching it right now. The person asks, how do you get into the commentary community? I don't know. I just had an opinion and I started talking about it, and the commentary community is for everybody. So anybody can be part of the commentary community. So if you have an opinion on something, just make a video. Do you have any job other than content creation? I don't really want to speak too much to my IRL life because I don't think it's that relevant, but I work in cybersecurity. I'm self-employed, so yeah. Do you like Taylor Swift? Yes. I'm not like a diehard fan, but I like her music. This person asks, how do you deal with the harsh criticism and words from people? I air quote a criticism because some of it can be considered criticism, most of it is just yap. I'm honest, when I first started, I like really cared what people thought about me, and it's hard to not care, but I quickly realized that a lot of YouTubers don't like it when new YouTubers enter the space and are starting to get more views, which I don't know why there's like this weird competition for views, and like views define your worth. It's very bizarre, but I had a lot of really big YouTubers making tweets about me and being really nasty. Some real high YouTubers were really mean. This one creator told me to enjoy my 15 minutes of fame because it wouldn't last, which was 2 months ago, so thank you for that. You know, there's been a lot of toxicity and people that just lie about stuff, which is silly to lie about because I document everything, but it can be tricky, but I think the best way to handle criticism is to acknowledge criticism that is valid. There was feedback that I've gotten that I've taken into consideration that I'm like, okay, you know what, that's a good point. And stuff that isn't valid and is rooted in hatred, I just don't interact with it. I have my channel manager go through and look at comments and look at tickets before I even review them. And if it's like a valid criticism, of course I'll look at it. But if it's just gonna be nasty and you telling me like I should get hit by a bus and stuff like that, well, then I'm not going to listen to you. So I definitely think protecting your peace is the most important thing, and that starts with not searching your name up, not actively looking at videos people are making about you, and just like focusing on what you're doing and not being worried about what other people are doing, because the truth is, anybody who talks about you just doesn't have anything else to talk about. And obviously my channel, it's based on talking about things, and so that applies to me too. But I think anybody who's posting content about you or who is like actively posting tweets about you, blatantly lying, they're obviously just looking for a quick click off your name, so no point interacting with it, so it's like whatever. How do I make my videos? What goes into my research? Typically I just record my videos in one take. I sit down, I record it, and it's pretty straightforward. It doesn't take too long, and then I put all the clips together, the audio clip and the video clip, because I record without audio and I use like an audio recording software, and then I edit it, and it usually takes about an hour from start to finish, depending on how quickly my thumbnail artist can get the thumbnail back to me, but usually it takes about an hour to post a video. If you could create your own game, what would it be? Probably an outfit game, because I love Roblox outfit games. How long does it take you to research and gather all the information for your vids? Love you so much, by the way. Thank you. Appreciate you. Personally, it doesn't take that long, mainly because you guys are always sending me information, which bless you. I have the ticket system in my server, which has been such a blessing because you guys are always so quick to tell me about things, and you guys provide a lot of context and screenshots, which is super helpful. And then typically before I record a video, I just fact check things to make sure that things were actually posted. But you guys really, really help me streamline research, which I really do appreciate. This person asks, what do you really think happened to Leah Ashley gameplay situation? Also, why do you think people are disregarding the situation and supporting Leah? I think it's because people are trying to troll and get people to be mad. That's probably why. As for the situation, I think Leah, I'm not going to talk about the cheating allegations, but her recent videos have been very suggestive, and she's obviously playing on all the drama to get clicks, which I think is a little bit disingenuous, but you know, that girl's got to get her bag, so I don't know how much I can say. Let's see, what else we got here? Where do I find all the topics for my videos? Mainly you guys suggesting them to me. I also visit Reddit and Twitter sometimes as well. How do I find all the resources? Again, it's through the tickets, you guys, mainly. Will I ever do a face reveal? No. I don't think my face is relevant. It doesn't matter to the content. In your opinion, which content creators' legitimacy should be looked into more, and why? Y'all, I have some choice people that I could talk about, but I'm just gonna do like a vague statement here, because I don't really want to get involved in drama, but there are a lot of commentary YouTubers that act like they are white knights and saviors, and they are terrible people. And not to say I'm a perfect person either, but I think it's very weird to be preaching a certain kind of behavior while you're actively victimizing victims. I had a specific situation with a commentary YouTuber that I discussed previously, that was years ago, and I don't know. I think it's a tricky situation, and I think sometimes people are too quick to jump onto a situation because they want to be the first person to talk about it, but then spread misinformation by accident, which I think is not great. This person said, why do I keep changing my VTuber avatar? Because I am indecisive. That's why. How come you started off your channel with a B-Play situation? Your first few videos are on here. Just curious because she just wanted to start a commentary, or was it just a coincidence of timing? I saw the B-Play situation. on TikTok one day. I'm like, I have an opinion about that. I want to talk about it. And then I made my channel. And that was that. It was just like something I saw on TikTok when I was scrolling. I'm like, oh my God, is that the Beat Plays I watched? I'm like, oh, it is. Okay. And I just had some things I wanted to say that I felt like nobody was saying. And so I made a video. Why do you hate on Royal High so much? I don't think I hated it. I'm gonna be honest. I think criticism and hatred are two different things, and I think people are very, very sensitive when anybody has anything negative to say about Royal High. I make positive videos about the game too, but nobody wants to talk about those videos. Interesting. But, you know, I think there's no problem calling out inconsistencies or hypocrisy in a game, especially if there are genuine criticisms, and my job is to present people's opinions and their thoughts, and I'm gonna do that regardless if it's positive or negative. So I'm sorry people establish that as being hate, but I don't think it is. Do you learn what not to do when you watch other commentary channels? Yes. There's a lot of controversy with other commentary YouTubers, especially with them always getting into drama, and so I watch what they say. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to do that because I don't want to get into it. And I find a lot of commentary creators can dish it out, but they can't take it, and so that's why I try to never put anything out there that I wouldn't be comfortable with somebody saying back at me. So I don't know, that's just the way I perceive it. But regardless, thank you guys for all the questions. There was a lot of them. I tried to get through most of them. I apologize if I didn't get to your question. I'm recording this, so maybe some of you guys already posted your question as I'm recording it, or I just didn't see it, my bad. But with that in mind, thank you guys for watching this video. Again, I will link the dolls down below that my fiance got for me if you guys like to purchase them. I think they're so, so, so cute, and they're just adorable. And also the art that comes in them, I put the little, they're like kind of cards, I put them on my wall because they're so cute. But regardless, thank you guys for all the questions, I really do appreciate it. Let me know if you have any other questions or you want me to do a part 2 at some point. And if you made this far in the video, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye!